Langkas is one of the barangays of Dalagat in the island province of Cebu that's within Region 7 in the Central Visayas area. Agriculture is still the most important activity in the municipality. Today, most people of Dalagat are still dependent on agriculture for livelihood, particularly vegetable farming and raising of coconuts. There are also production of other crops like corn, root crops, fruits, and other products. Tropical climate prevails year-round in Dalagat. The mountain barangays are cold and average daytime temperatures, except in mountainous region, range from 22.2 to 32.1 degrees Celsius. Average daytime temperatures, except in mountainous region, range from 22.2 to 32.1 degrees Celsius. Humidity is 77%. Native houses in Dalagat still exist. The houses were made of gemelina, coconut lumber, and bamboos or butong. In Dalagat, they term the door as gawang, not the typical term pultahan. In some parts of Cebu, gawang means a small hole, but in Dalagat, it simply means a door. In linguistics, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis states that linguistic relativity is the structural differences between languages that are parallel by non-linguistic cognitive differences, wherein there are certain thoughts of an individual in one language that cannot be understood by those who live in another language.
Ang gawang pultahan.
Pultahan, agianan.
Kaya ang gawang sa mo kay gamay nga buslet. Ang bastidor
Ako ni, balabag sa kuwan, bumbong. Kini mo siya Marco.
ang pabataas.
Oh, dili siya mong balabag, muna bastidor.
Balabag o bastidor parehara.
Ah,
Muna ka na paigda.
oh.
The horizontal wood portion that serves as a frame of the wall is called marco, while the vertical wood portion is bastidor. Dalagat commonly added letter K or G and L in their morpheme, like for example, bangkira. Bangkira means a sink, a place for washing dishes.
Kapag sa dapugan ay labkira, anay butang mga kuwan, plato, kutsara.
What makes interesting about the parts of the house of Filipino culture, especially in Cebu, is that the place in the house wherein one prepares food is called abuhan. But in Dalagat, the term is changed into dapugan. However, the meaning is still the same. According to Suffer, no two languages are ever sufficiently similar to be considered as representing the same social reality. The worlds in which different societies live are distinct worlds, not merely the same world with different labels attached. We see and hear and otherwise experience very largely as we do, because the language habits of our community predispose certain choices of interpretation.
Dapugan?
Ako na kinaraan.
Anong dapugan mo man namakaan mo mayag nga anak magluto ang kuwan? Anong lutuyo ng balaya ba?
Kusina.
In rural areas like Dalagat, they prepare the food in the evening before they will start to work in the farm in the morning. Nanay is in charge for the preparation process. She prepared the things to use in cooking puto balanghoy. The duty of the kitchen doesn't settle with wife's responsibility, but both Nanay and Tatay work together. Their daily morning routine starts in farming. Mangharog means forming a cage for the plant to grow by means of harog in their baul. Harog, for instance, means the branches and twigs came from trees. Baul means a farm wherein they planted their crops. In some parts of Cebu, it is called as umahan. When someone is farming, that person is called nagbaul. After harvesting their crops, they will place it in bukag. Bukag is a big basket that is placed over at the back of the person when they plan to sell the crops at the market.
Magharog sa tanong nga mo.
Magharap sa beans.
Kanang tanong, magharog ka sa tanong nga mapulapot ba?
Gibin.
In social linguistics, which is according to Richard Norquist, social dialect is a variety of speech associated with a particular social class or occupational group within a society. Douglas Biber distinguishes two main kinds of dialects in linguistics. Geographic dialects are varieties associated with speakers living in a particular location, while social dialects are varieties associated with speakers belonging to a given demographic group. Harog, mangharog, baol, nagbaol, and bukag are considered as regional dialects or geographic dialect. According to Chris Young, a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Linguistics at University of Chicago, a regional dialect is one that is strictly defined by geography, and as such is used among all people of all social classes or groups within that geography. This is supported by Potri Alda. Regional dialect is a variety of language that is spoken in a geographical area for many hundreds of years, as seen in differences in pronunciations, in the choices and form of the word and syntax.
Kanang bukag siya sudlanan sa mga utanon.
Basket, burag basket.
Oh, bukag
Basket
gina.
gamay raman ng basket.
Bukag yun.
So kung dako, bukag.
Muna yung bukag.
Ala, hindi na term. Ang bukag. Lain yun ang bukag o basket.
Aw kay basket, maana raman tug gano nya ang bukag kay masalig ay man.
Oh, mabala.
At weekends, some of them will wash their clothes at tubod. Tubod is free-flowing water. It has been observed that men were responsible for washing clothes than women. This doesn't imply that men are under the saya of women. They just divided the task accordingly, while some of them spend their leisure time in conversing with others.
unta do sa nalhub sa kalungan. Naagyod, layo lang, maglakaw lang mo. Subayon lang gid ni.
Dito sa bungtod. Ito lang kito ang Julius. Nindot to dito.
Sus nakapakalpo ka kang ubing ka dagloga.
Nindot gito ang
May unta na nga tuman si Makoy dito baka pagkahuwa ka man indulog ko imbalik ko sa agi.
Oh. Nindot yun ta dito kay view dito kay dagat, mga dagat ba.
Asa dapit ate?
Layo gyud.
Bungtod pa manghud muga ka sa diha.
Nindanglog lagi karon may anta gug dili dang.
Why entrance?
Wala.
Wala oy.
May tating init pa.
Init man.
Dan makaya ka ninyong danglog man, layo man. Muga ka manana mo to bunto.
Pa ko ani pagay din ni Makoy. Oh.
Ang ikuyo walito pa. Sa katagraba, sika na ana. Kasama day kakalidto ni po. Ang galung goy dalan. Ako na kuna. Magamat dito.
Nindot sa. Nindot manggod, mas nindot manggod dito kay sa Osminya.
In their conversation, proxemics has been observed. According to Edward Hall, proxemic is a form of nonverbal communication in which messages are conveyed from one person to another by the changing space that separates them during a conversation or interaction. The physical distance between communicators indicates the type of relationship they have. Body angles, touch, and eye contact further reveal the familiarity between people. People are constantly throwing off a storm of signals. These signals may be silent or nonverbal messages communicated through the sender's body movements, facial expressions, voice tone, and loudness. Micro-expressions, hand gestures, and posture register almost immediately, a silent orchestra that can have long-lasting repercussions. According to Kohn and Ekman, the timing of various actions that compose a facial expression do not all start, reach an apex, and stop simultaneously. Both factors are crucial for determining the exact facial configuration and thus expression. Facial affect typically involves more than one muscle movement, and coding systems need to account for changes with respect to speaking, eye movement, and developmental variables. According to Rockwell, while verbalizations are generally intentional and deliberate with regard to communication, non-linguistic sounds are less specific and less premeditated, but offer important cues regarding the speaker's identity, personality, emotion, and conversational turn intentions. For example, vocal stress, a non-linguistic characteristic, helps untangle the meaning of an utterance or the recognition of sarcasm. Cultural aspects shape the language of an individual. The relationship between language and culture is deeply rooted. Language is used to maintain and convey culture and cultural ties. Different ideas stem from differing language used within one's culture, and the whole intertwining of these relationships start at one's birth. A travel perhaps doesn't simply mean to explore the scenery of the place, enjoy one's cuisine or food, and took a picture-perfect view, but it's more than that. Once you open your mind, heart, and immerse yourself in the place, you can find beauty within culture. You can explore differences in terms of language terminology, enjoy new company and acquaintances, and experience a great view of lifestyle.